Hey, welcome back to the Passive Buddies podcast. I know it sounded like I delayed and forgot what my podcast was called, but it didn't. Um, so today we are going back to a topic we covered a long time ago, and I think it's about time we brought this back to have a chat. I think for everyone, they would have known or they would have seen like the crypto's on like a comeback effectively is possibly the nice. It's always been there, but like I think people are getting excited about it again, which means the excitement's going to draw the attention, and then it's going to shoot. Probably not financial advice, just my thought and feeling. Which means the play to earn space is going to be a huge asset to money making industry and making cash online. So of course we have got one of the play to earn experts as our co-host, which is an absolute pleasure. And we're going to talk about the play to earn and the future of gaming. And you also love a good game, don't you?
Yeah, I am a big gamer, and it's funny. I call myself a big gamer, but I literally will play like maybe an hour a month. Like, and it's funny because I used to be a big gamer, and I see myself as a gamer, but when I try and play games, I'm just bored. I like doing business is much more of a game to me and much more fun than anything, because you have to think like, this is totally off topic, but like if you took life as a game and you increased your stats in real life like you would like in the video game, like you increased your stamina by working out, or you increased your intelligence by learning a new skill, or like increased your karma by reading some books on persuasion, all sorts of different things to increase your skills. And I think that by increasing your life skills, it's kind of the best game you can ever play. And I think I realize that. But as far as gaming and crypto and play to earn, there is like Brian said, there is a bigger demand now again with crypto. I've seen a recent spike in talk on the YouTubes and other things. I think that Bitcoin has went from like 15,000 to now at 30,000, so it's a 100% increase. We've had all sorts of talks, but I think I'm going to confuse Brian on this, but I think the play to earn space is going to be big. I just don't think, I don't know. The thing about the play to earn space is it's too expensive. And in doing so, by making it so expensive to get in, you eliminate a lot of your gamers essentially, because you have to think that most gamers are used to spending $20 to $60 for a game. And if you're having to spend hundreds of dollars, hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for a game, that cuts off a lot of the player base. And I just think that, like, I'll give you a perfect example. We made a lot of money last year with Axie Infinity. It was a shitty game, like the worst game. Like, I think I played better games in like on my 2004 iMac or whatever it was, with PowerPete, playing like these little like lemming games than some of the games that are on the Web3 space. However, there are some games coming out that have potential, like Gal Games, and like they're trying to be the Steam of the crypto space or the Web3 space. But I don't think that I think the future of gaming is still going to be Web2. And I don't think it's going to be Web3, because everything you can do with Web2, you can do with Web3. And everything you can do with Web3, you can do with Web3 too. People talk about, I'll give you the perfect example. Everyone, like, people will say, oh, you have ownership of all these skins and like blah, 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 blah. Like, you can have ownership of this land and it's on the blockchain, and it's immutable and all this other garbage. But we've been buying, I mean, I haven't bought skins, but people online have been buying skins, say from Fortnite or CSGO or whatever for the longest time. And people have sell those skins on third-party apps for the longest time. Sure, those are like, they're not allowed to sell third-party apps, but say for instance that game goes bankrupt on the, or there's a rug pull on the blockchain or whatever, those assets that you now own are now worthless. Just like if CSGO or Fortnite decided to close up shop, those skins are now worthless. So I think the future of gaming is still going to be in the Web2 space because it's cheaper, it's not as complicated to start, and there's less risk of your assets disappearing the next day. And so I think with that said, I think that still the future of gaming is in the Web2 space, even though I can make money in the Web3 space. I've been making money in the Web2 space gaming since I was in high school. So there's money to be made with Web2 and there's money to be made with Web3.
Okay, so if you see, and I get the point, like what you're saying is like it's cheaper, the better quality is all in Web2. And obviously if you play it right and play it smart, you can make money in basically what is traditional gaming. Like,
Right.
So do you not think Web3 will ever be able to compete, especially with the amount of money getting poured into crypto? Especially with it being like the sexy thing, like the whole concept of, as you say, like the ownership, which you kind of own, like you own your own stuff. But like, do you not think like with AI, AR, like, and what's the reality one? Like, do you not think? Yeah. So do you not think like it will catch up? Like it will then accelerate, or do you think because of the amount of money in game 2 or Web2, should I say, because it's been around for a hell of a long time, like that will just always have the money because of its traditional, because it's got market share? Do you think that's just always going to win?
I think that until we switch, and this could be coming soon with CBDCs and a lot of different things, the way we transact money is going to be the easiest way for gaming. It's super easy to pull out my credit card and buy a skin on Web2, buy a game through Steam, all those things, super easy, very little friction. Web3, you're now having to, one, develop a game, but two, well, develop a game, which is hard, make it so that's uncheatable, which is crackable and hackable and all that, which is hard. And then you're adding a financial layer on top of that, where then you have to make sure that you protect the assets that are in game from being scammed from players, being cheated through the game mechanics, hacks, protect your own servers from, hacks and data breaches. So I think all of that combined makes there's a lot of friction there. And with Web3, then you're having to go through an exchange, then move your money to another wallet, and then buy that thing, and then make sure that's linked, and then all these different things that are much harder to do versus just taking out a credit card, putting it in, and then being done. Until we get to that point where crypto is as frictionless as a debit card or a credit card, is when I think the Web3 space and the Web2 space will differentiate. But at that point, then it's not Web3 or Web2. It's just we've changed how we handle money, and it's faster and cheaper to use crypto essentially than it is with a credit card. But until that change happens, I don't think that the Web3 space is going to be a thing. It's just going to be speculative, and it's a great it's a great way to make money in the bull run and make a good amount of money. But when the bear market happens, all those games just go to shit.
Yeah, it was interesting to talk about the friction to get in, because obviously we've had this conversation before, and he's like, "Brian, you need to be in crypto." And I was like, "I fucking hate the amount of hoops I've got to jump through just to get like one element of cryptocurrency." It's like, fuck me. I was like, "Just give me my money." I was like, "I'm trying to pay you. Why is it so hard?" And it's really frustrating. So we've had that conversation. So if you're like excited about a game, and obviously unless you're in crypto again, which is it's a growing market, but it's a smaller market. So unless you're in crypto and you're making money, then your pool to grow that game, which obviously then creates the buzz about the marketing and people re-talking about it. Like, it's a very small pool. So until you increase that pool and obviously let gamers in and reduce the friction, as you say, like I can see where you say it's going to struggle. As you say, there is money to be made, but only when crypto's doing well. And like,
Yeah, I mean, there's always money to be made in anything. Like I've made. I guess people are saying it's a bear market still. Some people are saying we're in the beginning of a bear market. I've made all my money back, and I've done pretty well, and I've accumulated more crypto in this bear market than when I was in a bull market. But I was also compounding my rewards in a bull market versus taking profits. So there's just, I guess now I've gone through that, so I have that experience now. But I think the onboarding and the offboarding has to be easier. It's just too hard right now. There are companies out there that are trying to make it easier. Like I said, Gala has like their own kind of Steam dashboard. There's some other companies coming out that are like Phantasma has their own marketplace that is like Steam, where you can buy games and stuff. And they make it really easy. Like, you can buy their own credit using a credit card and buy their tokens essentially to buy the games. So they made it really easy. But until crypto as a whole becomes easier to onboard, then I think, yeah, and the cost to game is just super expensive. I remember spending for a team of three NFTs to play one game. It was like at the height of the market, it was like $1,200 to just play, and $1,200 is not to play a game is like, no games are that expensive. That's like, you could buy 100 games for that expensive. And so or 10 games, I guess. I don't know. 60 times 10 is 600. So close to 10 games. So you have to think, like, that's a lot more hours of gameplay with 10 games than just the one game that you're hoping to make money. And you're going in with the expectation of hoping to get that money back, because you went in knowing that you're trying to make money, versus the expectation of buying a video game. You're going in with the expectation of a good storyline, or of a fun gameplay, versus buying a game in hopes to make money. So I think that's both those things, I think, is just barriers to entry.
Yeah, and I think obviously, as you say, like, going after the gamers market, or they're trying to, like, people who want to make money online get excited about the play to earn space, and obviously they see it as an investment, but they're not gamers. And then they've got gamers who just are gamers, aren't really interested in playing a game to make money online. Like, you can do it, so it's a weird market, isn't it, that they're trying to go for, when people can see, well, instead of me playing a game and obviously basically trading time for money to get that cash, obviously to get those like bids. I know you can outsource it like you did with Axie. I was like, but the initial thoughts were, I've got to play a game, use my time to make money. I was like, well, I may as well be doing something that can get me a bigger return, a faster return. So it's like the target market is gamers, but the people who buy it are people who want to make money online, which is the wrong type of person to buy it. So it's just, yeah, I can see where it gets confusion with the barrier of entries. And hey, people could be watching this podcast or listening to this podcast in 5 years' time and go, Brandon, you were right. Or Brandon, 2 years you were right and now you're wrong. And obviously we don't know. We'll soon see. Or in a while we'll see.
And just like I said, in 5 years, if we're using more, I mean, that's where we're going essentially, is digital currencies. Because I mean, we've been on digital currencies forever. I mean, when was the last time any of us pulled out cash from an ATM and paid with cash or something besides like tips or whatever? I use my credit. Exactly. I use my credit card for everything because I get points, and those points give me free travel. And so if once we go full digital, in crypto and CBDCs, that will be now, it won't be Web3 because it's going to be it's how we transact all of our transactions are through an online wallet essentially, and everyone's used to that by then. So the onboarding and the traction is lowered. So then there might be actually some good games that come out, because then even then those games are not banking companies and security to protect assets. They're in game development. And so now if you're having to combine banking infrastructure with game development, I think it's just going to be hard. And so we'll see how it turns out, unless they can turn it into something where it's like I don't know. I think it's just the onboarding and the friction is just too hard, but we'll see in years' times, like you said.
Okay, guys, obviously, if you've got an opinion on this, please let us know in the comments. You could tell Brandon he's wrong and you could try and prove it. Let's see what happens. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.
Peace.
Podcast.